Biden and Israel's caretaker Prime Minister, Yair Lapid, held a joint news conference and were pressed on divisions between the two countries. President Joe Biden's meetings with Israeli leaders on Thursday delved into divisions over how to keep Iran from becoming a nuclear power. At first, it was mostly kumbaya between Biden and new Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid. With the Prime Minister at his side, Biden said their bilateral meeting was a good beginning of what's going to be a long, God willing, relationship between the two leaders. I think the vast majority of the American public, not just my administration, is completely devoted to Israel's security, Biden declared. The president acknowledged that he and Lapid discussed his administration's desire to revive a nuclear deal with Iran, brokered by the US and other world powers in 2015. The deal curbed Iran's nuclear enrichment capabilities, but Tehran stopped adhering to its limits after the Trump administration withdrew from the pact. There will be no nuclear Iran. This is not only a threat to Israel, but to the world, Biden said. And we discussed some other issues we are going to keep to ourselves. But at a news conference later, Lapid lectured Biden on the issue. In prepared remarks, the Israeli leader pushed Biden to change course on Iran. Lapid said no amount of words or diplomacy would stop Iran from further developing its nuclear program. The only way to stop them is to put a credible military threat on the table, Lapid told Biden. Biden said in his opening remarks that he would be maintaining his approach. I continue to believe that diplomacy is the best way to achieve this outcome, and we'll continue to work with Israel to counter other threats from Iran throughout the region. The US and Israel also issued a joint statement outlining areas of consensus and launched a partnership on emerging technologies. The tension, Biden's relationship with Israel has been strained by his attempts to restart the 2015 deal with Iran, which Israel viewed as too weak. The diffuser, the US and Israel released a joint declaration that affirmed America's moral commitment to Israel's security. The statement says the US is prepared to use all elements of its national power to ensure that Iran never acquires a nuclear weapon. Two-state solution, Biden said he would discuss his support for the creation of an independent Palestinian state alongside Israel, even though I know it's not in the near term. The bottom line, rather than launch a new peace initiative, Biden will encourage both sides to move closer towards a vision that works for both Israelis and for Palestinians, and for the region as a whole, according to Jake Sullivan, Biden's national security advisor.